Hey, it's me again. Last project for my English class this semester. This time we had to pick something to talk about that was passed down through generations or that is now considered a tradition. And it had to be an academic style research paper with citations, scholarly sources, just everything that would make a research paper accurate. Since I'm a current architecture student, I thought it might be fun to learn about traditional architecture for this project. And what better places to start than Greece and Rome? Both the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans were considered to be part of the classical era in architecture, and they both used many architectural elements that are now very stereotypical of this era. The Greeks had triangular temple fronts and large columns on their massive temples, while the Romans had arches and bricks on their even more gigantic Colosseum. The main purpose for Greek architecture was to build temples to worship their many gods. Most of the gods had their own temple, if not more than one. The Parthenon, as I showed earlier, has a statue of Athena inside. The Romans, however, used most of their architecture for public gathering spaces. The Colosseum was just one of many examples, but it housed over 50,000 people by terracing the seating and having multiple levels. These elements are now used everywhere in various buildings. Since I began my research for the project, I have hardly been able to go anywhere without seeing some sort of Greek or Roman architectural influence. My goal for this project was to learn as much as I could about Greek and Roman architecture. To find out new information, I used my school's online database collection, and I checked out a few useful books from the library. I even got to use one of my architecture professor's lectures. I would definitely say it was a successful project overall because I can now describe different elements of Greek and Roman architecture quite successfully. I can also recognize and draw these elements, which I would say is pretty cool. It got me wondering about how these cultures came up with the ideas for these new elements, especially since they hadn't really been used before then. Most of architecture uses elements from past times now, so the idea of creating something completely new and different is fascinating to me. I look forward to finding out more about the Greeks and the Romans in the future, and I'm definitely looking forward to continuing my architectural education and learning more about other eras in architectural history.